What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video, and I'm just checking in on you. How you doing? What's going on? Now today is February 20th. There we go. Title update 20.1. And this is going to be your weekly vendor reset and must buys. So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, and don't forget to hit that like. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But I'm going to try to do this as fast as possible, starting off here in the base of ops. Here we go. And starting off with the Invisible Hand, this is the named assault rifle with perfect Allegro, and this week it comes with armor damage. This is pretty good for this weapon. However, the AUG assault rifle overall is just middle to bottom tier as far as the assault rifles go. But if you do not have this fully proficient, pick these up, donate the duplicates, and get that fully proficient without using it. Next, we have a enhanced AUG with max armor damage and stabilize for the talent, followed by a SOCOM Mark 16 with magazine size and killer, and finally a D50 with armor damage and salvage. Looking at the gear items, we have a Bellstone Armory backpack with hazard, crit chance, and composure, and finally a Fenris chest piece with weapon handling, headshot damage, and focus. Looking at the mods, we have crit chance 4.6, drone deflect duration 6.4, turret damage 4.3, and sticky bomb blast radius of 4.9. Now, must buys, things to look for from the base of ops vendor. The D50 with armor damage is good. Just switch off the talent for whatever talent you want, whether it be determined would probably be a really good one to use there. Whatever you want. The Bellstone Armory backpack isn't bad if you want like a crit hazard. Just switch off the composure, but again, the armor is lacking, so I would probably only say the D50 to be honest. Kind of lacking this week at the base of ops. All right, next vendor is going to be the Countdown vendor. Remember, this is in Washington, D.C. or New York City. So I'm going to show you the vendor here in D.C. And the three items, we have the new Reliable. This is the named RPK with perfectly optimized. This week it comes with crit hit damage. Following that, we have the Lavoisier. This is the named Electric backpack with perfect galvanize. And this week it comes with status effects and crit chance. This is actually a pretty good combination for this backpack. I would pick this one up and then just recalibrate that skill tier off for a armor core or a weapon damage core. And finally, we have the backup boomstick. This is my favorite sidearm in the game. I have one on right now. This week it comes with headshot and reformation. I don't know. That's up to you if you want that. Out of these three, I would just say check out the backpack and switch that core attribute. And running over here to the clan vendor. Now remember, the Disciples of Doom, we are on all three platforms, PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. So go to my channel, About Me, and join our Discord, and you can see where to put your name on the list to get into those clans. And here we are at the clan vendor. Nice! Starting off with the FOXES prayer knee pads. These are best in slot knee pads because of the damage to targets out of cover attribute. So that's awesome right off the rip. Also, it comes with status effects, so you could put this with a status effects build, maybe with Perfectly Wicked or the Ridgeway's Pride chest piece. This is a good one to pick up. I like it. I'm going to pick one up just because I want to put one with a armor core and have fun with a status effects tank build. But that's for a build video later. Going to the gear set items, we have hardwired knee pads with skill haste, striker knee pads with max armor regen. Nice. You could put that with like a tank striker build and just easily recalibrate that weapon damage off for a armor core. That's a really good pair of knee pads. And finally, Heartbreaker mask with skill haste. Looking at the high-end items, we have a custom PF45 with Ranger and swap speed, followed by a Big Show. This is the named LMG with perfect Thunderstrike, and it comes with rate of fire. We have a tactical UMP with optimal range and perpetuation, and finally another D50 with vindictive and magazine size. Looking at the gear items, we have Heligard knee pads with, ooh, crit damage and repair skills. I would pick these up and recalibrate the repair skills off for crit chance and have double crit with the Heligard. You could put that with Uzina, Double Badger, something like that. Just make a huge tank crit build. That'd be a good one. Bellstone Armory holster with headshot and health, but very low armor. Yuck. And China Light gloves with headshot and health. Looking at the mods, we have Blind Deaf Resistance 8.9, Drone Health 8.7, Crit Damage 10.4, and Shield Deflector Damage 4.5. Must buys, things to look for from the clan vendor: the Fox's Prayer knee pads, most definitely. The Striker knee pads with max armor regen, that's a good pickup. And the Heligard knee pads, also a great pickup. All right, that's it for the base of ops. Let's go to the west. We will double back east. Our first stop is going to be the campus settlement. Now, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, support the channel by subscribing, and let me know what you're picking up today. Am I going over any must-buys that you think we should know about? Let's talk about it in the comments below. And finally, shout out where you're from. It's always cool to see where everyone's from. All right, here we go, campus. Starting with the Quiet Roar, this is the named Stoner LAMG with Perfect Overwhelm, and this week it comes with magazine size. Following that, we have a Surplus SVD with damage targets at a cover and perpetuation. This is a good sniper. I would just change that talent for whatever other talent you want, and then optimize those attributes. And finally, for the weapons, we have a military MK46 with health damage and strained. Looking at the gear items, we have Brazos Mask with explosive resistance and armor regen. This is a good one as well. I would just take off the explosive resistance for any other attribute in the game, really. Not bad. You could put 3 Brazos together for that extra magazine size. Could be deadly. And finally, Providence holster with crit damage and explosive resistance. Another great holster here. Just recalibrate that explosive resistance off for crit chance and go double crit. Looking at the mods, we have Repair Skills 16.6, Chem Launcher Skill Haste 5.7, Hive Duration 4.1, Pulse Health 15.1, and Trap Duration of 4.2. Must-buys, things to look for from the campus: the Surplus SVD, the Brazos Mask, and the Providence holster. All pretty decent. All right, and let's hit up these Dark Zone vendors. Now remember, I'll usually, break this down and show you about the DZ resources, but this time I'm just going to run up to the vendor and tell you to double check your DZ resources before going to these vendors. All right, here we go. DZ West. Starting with the Virginian. This is a good one too because it has max rifle damage, meaning you can recalibrate that health damage off for any attribute in the game. I would probably recommend damage targets at a cover or damage to armor. Following that, we have a Marine Super 90 with headshot and perpetuation, and a UIC Mod 2 with damage targets at a cover and steady-handed. Looking at the gear items, we have hardwired gloves with crit hit damage, Hunter's Fury knee pads with repair skills, Brazos gloves with max crit damage and health, and finally Douglas and Harding knee pads with crit damage and status effects. Looking at the mods, we have Protection from Elites 11%, Seeker Mine Healing 5.8, Shield Damage Bonus 1 point, and Firefly Skill Haste 5.9. And don't forget about that Decoy Duration of 6.0. But the only thing to look for here, DZ West, would be the Virginian. Just recalibrate that health damage off for either damage targets at a cover or damage to armor. There you go. Now we're going to take our talents down south to the DZ South vendor. Now, if you haven't already, check out the DZ and Conflict Weekly Project. It gives you, I believe it's, like 11 or 12 levels just from the project alone. So check that out. It still works. And here we go, DZ South. We have 0 Fs. Nice. With armor regen. So all you'd have to do with this one is just recalibrate that skill haste off for whatever it is you want, and you're good to go. Following that, we have a SIG MPX with max armor damage. Nice. And Future Perfect. A FAMAS with max armor damage. Holy moly. And Flatline, but Flatline doesn't really work with the FAMAS. That max arm. There's so many max armor damage weapons today. And finally, for the weapons, a PX4 Storm Type F with health damage and Sadist. Looking at the gear items, we have a Rigger backpack with skill haste, Hot Shot chest piece with hazard protection, Wyvern Wear backpack with status headshot and clutch, and finally a Bellstone Armory chest piece with explosive delivery, repair skills, and weapon handling. Looking at the mods, we have Headshot 7.4, Drone Damage 4.1, Turret Skill Haste 6.1, and Sticky Bomb Skill Haste of 4.1. There we go. Must buys, things to look for from DZ South. The Zero Fs isn't bad, but I think you could get better. All right, now before we go to DZ East, we have to stop over at the Castle Settlement. I would typically stop and pet the dogs, but I am on a time crunch today. There are too many videos to make, so let's just run straight to the vendor. I'm sorry, Ransom. All right, here we go. Castle Settlement. The Picaro's holster. Nice. This is the best in slot holster because it gives you a weapon damage core for a normal attribute. Not bad. And this one comes with health, but you can recalibrate that health for whatever attribute you want in the game. This is a good holster. Check it out, especially if you like running any sort of tank and or damage build. This is the holster for you. Moving on, we have a G28 with armor damage and close and personal. And finally, for the weapons, a tactical M249 with magazine size and sadist. Looking at the gear items, we have a Araldi mask with crit hit damage and weapon handling. And finally, a Habsburg Guard holster with headshot and explosive resistance. Looking at the mods, we have Skill Haste 10.2, Chem Launcher Heals 6.0, Hive Reviver Armor Repair 8.2, Pulse Radius 8.7, and Trap Duration 6.1. But the must-buy from here today from the Castle Settlement would be the Picaro's holster. All right, and finally for the Dark Zone vendors, we have Dark Zone East. Now, I'm not going to the main entrance. I highly recommend just going to the Alpha checkpoint. It will put you in a double loading screen.
Detected.
But, oh, no, we did not get a double loading screen. Even better. So you just exit the checkpoint, and here's the vendor. DZ East. Starting with the Commando, this is the named SVD with Perfectly Naked, and it comes with crit chance. Following that, we have a M700 with damage targets at a cover and sadist, and a Black Market RPK with crit hit damage and spike. Looking at the gear items, we have a Aegis mask with health, Striker holster with health, Electric mask with hazard and health, and finally Richter and Kaiser holster with skill haste and status effects. Looking at the mods, we have Skill Haste 10.0, Chem Launcher Damage 4.1, Hive Armor Repair 8.2, Pulse Cone Size 6.4, and Trap Shock Radius of 6.0. There are no must-buys from DZ East. Yeesh. And our final stop of Washington, D.C., right before we go to New York City, is going to be the Theater Settlement. All right, big money, no whammies. Starting with the new named rifle, the Whisper. This is the named M16A2 with Perfectly Behind You. Next, we have a double-barrel shotgun with damage targets at a cover and close and personal. And finally, a SIG 716 with health damage and preservation. Looking at the gear items, we have 511 gloves with headshot and skill damage. And finally, Sokolov Concern knee pads with headshot and explosive resistance. Looking at the mods, Disrupt Resistance 8.4, Seeker Mind Skill Haste 4.9, Shield Damage Bonus 1%, Firefly Skill Haste 5.7, and Decoy Health of 5.5. Again, no must-buys. And finally, we have two more vendors in New York City. We have Marco at the top of the escalator, and then we have Roy Benitez just outside. Now, again, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, support the channel. If you like this quicker version, let me know. I'm trying to get through these as fast as possible. And here we go. Marco. Starting with the FAL with reload speed and overflowing. Following that, we have a classic M60 with crit chance and future perfect, a lightweight M4 with future perfect and damage targets at a cover, and finally a 586 Magnum with optimal range and strained. Looking at the gear items, we have 511 backpack with health, explosive resistance, and bloodsucker. China Light knee pads with skill haste and explosive resistance. And Sokolov Concern holster with health and weapon handling. Looking at the mods, we have armor on kill 15.8k, bleed resistance 8.6, shield holstered regen 4.1, hive health 7.8, and decoy health of 6.0. Again, no must buys, not from Marco either. And that leads us to our last vendor, Roy Benitez. But wait, I'll at least pet I'll pet him once. What's up, buddy? How you doing? I like how Roy Benitez is like, yeah, come to find out, he's a mutt. It's like, yeah, come on. We're in New York City, bro. All right, here we go. Roy Benitez, our last vendor of the video. Oh, what the? We have to talk. What? What was that all about? We had to talk to him? Nah, whatever. What can I do for you? All right, starting with the F2000 with crit hit damage and reformation, following classic M60 with stability and sadist, a double barrel shotgun with rate of fire and preservation, and a Diceros with InSync and health damage. Gear items, we have a Douglas and Harding chest piece with crit hit damage, skill haste, and empathic resolve. Seska knee pads with headshot and skill damage. And finally, Badger Tough mask with crit chance and explosive resistance. Looking at the mods, we have skill haste 9.9, armor on kill 15.8k, drone deflect duration 6.4, pulse cone size 6.3, and decoy duration of 6.0. From Roy Benitez, just check out the Badger Tough mask. If you recalibrate the explosive resistance off for crit damage, you could have double crit Badger Tough. Nice. All right, and that's it for your weekly vendor reset and must buys. If you found this video helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Support the channel by subscribing. I am Kamikazevondoom. I hope you have a great day. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.